Hey everyone, welcome back to Wood and Nickels, the movie vlog. And I am here with Professor Hiram Sims.
That's me.
That's him. And he's another friend who has a fair bit of knowledge because he's a professor, so hopefully he's not deceiving the students. But today we're going to talk about orientations, freshman orientation. So the reference to Wood and Nickels the movie is CG leaves his freshman orientation sad and confused. So for my college survivors, what was your freshman orientation like? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Was it awesome? Was it weird? And college dreamers, you can just listen in today. This is an old post. I don't remember when, but it's an old post. You can check out my response online. But Hiram's going to share with us what it was like as a Trojan, a new Trojan.
You know what I really remember most. Well, there's a couple things that I remember about orientation, JamTown, and first was the fact that I got there super duper late, right? And orientation, I think, started at 8 a.m. and I didn't get there until 12 a.m. But I had been a student on campus since I was in 6th grade. So I feel like I knew everything about the campus, and that orientation was for these newbies to the campus, and that I already knew more than all of them did. So, but I didn't want to be late. My mom just felt like she didn't care about orientation. She just knew I was going to cut. I had already got in, so at that point she didn't care anymore. But what I remember, the first thing I remember is that, for me and my friends going to USC from this neighborhood that we lived in, South Central was kind of like the promised land, especially because we were in a scholarship program. All the way up until, senior year. And so some of us got the scholarship and the majority of us didn't. Mm-hmm. So it was only me and one other black guy from my whole senior class group that got into SC. So when I walked into the dorm room in, I forget which dorm room it was, but I was supposed to sleep there that night, right? So when I got in there, me and my homeboys used to drink Mango Madness Snapple, right? And I went in there and I poured out some Snapple for the homies.
Oh my God!
And I poured out half a bottle of Snapple.
On the floor?
Yeah, and then I turned on Get Your Walk On by Exhibit, and I walked around the dorm room. Which because I got there late, I didn't get a roommate, so I was also in the dorm room by myself, but I didn't really care. It didn't much matter to me. And so then, orientation day, you went through all the motions, and they show you all the stuff on campus I had been to already. And I remember meeting this girl named and she had a big afro, right? Shout out to if you watch anything on the internet. And what I remember most about is that later on I kind of developed a crush on so I always invited her to my apartment. And one morning I invited her over and I had cooked breakfast for her, and she ate the breakfast, which was very good, and then she asked me if I had any newspapers. And I was like, what do you need a newspaper for? And she's like, just don't worry about it. Do you have a magazine or a newspaper or something? And I was like, you're not about to take a dump in my house, are you? In my dorm room. And she said, what's wrong with that? And I said, if you boo-boo in my bathroom, I'm going to tell everyone that I know. And she proceeded to go in there, take a dump, to not light a match or spray air freshener or anything.
Did you have some?
And then, I don't know. I think I had some air freshener, but she didn't spray anything. And from that moment to this one, I've been telling everyone that I know about it, right? So,
cool.
If you were a freshman and somebody booed in your room, please tell the internet about it. The third thing that I remember about orientation that I'll never forget is this really whack orientation party that they give you at the end of orientation in a place called Ground Zero. And this is what I remember about that. There were mainly white kids and black kids, and then a few Asians, a few people from sprinkled from all over the world, but mostly it was white people and black people, right? And I remember that we were all in Ground Zero, and once the white music came on, all the black people ran off the dance floor. All the white people rushed on the dance floor, and they're dancing to Britney Spears and Toxic and other corny random white songs. And then once the rap songs came on, all the white people would leave the dance floor, all the black people rush, and then there would be grinding for however many songs that the black music was playing for. But then, of course, with each group, there was always one black person or one white person who could really dance with the other group. So there was one white kid who was pop locking and dancing with all of the black guys and girls in a circle. And then once the white people came back on the dance floor, when they started playing Blink 182 or something like that, there was always one black guy, who knew how to dance with them too. So that's a couple of things that I just never forgot about orientation.
Wow. You're really wrong for putting her out like that. And I think I might bleep out her name because I think she's a really nice person.
She's very cool, but her vowels are just
that's not cool.
way out of whack.
JamTown is not an advocate of busting people out on the internet. This is not TMZ. And so we want to support each other. So if you heard a bleep at the beginning when he was talking, that's because we... That's because we are not an
That's right.
that.
So
no, we're not. But thank you for watching again. It's our third week going strong. Shout out to all my subscribers. I think there's Wanna Be a Star. There's also a Juicy Girl or something like that. I'll put them up on the screen. But if you want to share your stories, your college stories, then go to woodandnicholsmovie.com. It's going to come up on the screen. And make sure you subscribe, tell some friends, and stay tuned because you never know who you're going to see. Bye.
Peace.